Hi, I'm Keegan, and this is A Bunch of Gamers. This is our 56th episode of Werewolf the Apocalypse, 20th Anniversary Edition. I'm going to go around and have my players introduce themselves. Before I do that, though, I wanted to point out that Adam, the person who plays Mark Guides the Fallen, and Sam, who plays Cora Two-Hearts, will be in a little late this session due to personal conflicts. And with that, we will go around.
I'm Tyler, and I play Kyle. He's 19, a Philodox, and has found his purpose with the Gaoru. He's known as Guards the Low, Child of Gaia.
Hi, I'm George. I play Roy Mindscape. He is a Ragabosh with the Stargazers.
Hi, I'm Jade. I play Morgan Bloodsinger Trevelyan. She is a Galliard of Fianna.
Hi, I'm Sean. I'm playing Zeb, also known as Speaks-in-Sweet-Whispers. He's a Theard of the Sound Striders.
All right. So last time you all pursued some of your own personal agendas here at the Sept of the Sacred Stone, relaxing, catching up, though Zeb had gained some visions of what he suspects to be the future. And Kyle Guards the Low has learned about a Gorel up in the mountains. It is the next day, the sun rises, and we're going to start with the Infernal Alphas a little bit. So let's start with Morgan. Morgan, what would you like to do?
Breakfast.
Assuming that's been out of the way.
Oh, damn it. In that case, yeah, so because she's still sort of very confused as to why her ancestors pretended to be a young person and convinced her to get up on stage and then, convince her to get drunk and me and stuff. She kind of just wants to really figure out what that was all about. So she's gonna take some time to commune, essentially, with her ancestors, maybe get some solid answers. Whether it is from her great-grandfather or her grandma, whichever one is likely to be around.
Okay. And how about you, Roy? What would Roy like to try and get accomplished today?
Probably talk to the Stargazers within the Sept.
Okay.
I don't know who that is since it's a new Sept.
The Sept does not actually have any native stargazers.
Huh.
Stargazers are quite rare, and you find them sprinkled throughout the nation. This Sept is predominantly children of Gaia and Uktena, who do have their own views upon the nature of Gaia, the Triad, and what the nature of the Gaoru is.
I think I'd just like to delve deeper into the Sept, whether it's politics or their views on things, as well as the Uktena.
Okay, we can do that. And how about Zeb?
I imagine there'll be some reflection on the visions that he's had. He'll probably see if there's some time where he can sit down with the lore master a little bit more if anything else comes to mind. And then he'll probably look for Roy and see what can be done, because we just can't stand around here all day, right? So
Okay.
the wandered legs will kick in a little bit.
So, Morgan, you start off by going further into the Sept grounds to try and commune with your ancestors. You've always heard that the ancestors kind of like these places, the wilderness, the so-called wild places.
Yep.
Are you on the physical or the umbral side of the gauntlet?
The umbral side of the gauntlet.
As you sit down and start to collect yourself to meditate, to try and draw your ancestors to you, you hear a few cracks behind you.
Upon hearing the cracks, I will sort of slowly turn around.
You see a stag looking at you, its antlers radiating out.
I will respectfully nod towards the stag.
The stag nods and points its head towards a tree. The great tree spirit looms almost like a great tower here in the Umbra. And within the trunk, it opens up and you notice a hollow within.
Curiosity kills the cats, so we'll go towards the hollow of the trunk and have a peek inside.
Good thing you're a Gaoru and not a cat. As you go in, it grows dark for a moment, and then as you step out, you're in a glade. Beautiful trees back from Ireland all over in a kind of open area with stones, a small fire smoldering, and Luna hanging overhead, even though it's the daytime when you stepped in here. Her full face hanging open, glowing and illuminating the area around, as you see Taliesin kind of step out.
Oh, here he is.
I didn't think
Here
you'd miss
he
me.
is.
I didn't think you'd miss me this early.
I
Must-
don't miss you.
Oh, well, that hurts my heart.
Well, it's hard to miss somebody when you didn't really know them.
I suppose that's true. So why you come?
Because I want to know why you did what you did. Like, what was the gain there?
Gain for me or gain for you?
Well, the gain for you more than me. I know what I got out of it. I got a relatively good time, barred the slight, scarring from the fact that one of my ancestors tricked me.
It's within my nature to trick you.
Is it? Really?
That's the opposite phase of my moon sign, as he points to Luna up above.
What did you get out of it, though?
I got out of it is that I tried to get you to think for a moment about what you want and what you're fighting for.
Morgan just kind of stares at him for a minute, like, almost tilts the head in confusion. I didn't think of anything, I just did what I do. I wasn't
Yes,
thinking.
you're good. You're not supposed to think when you enjoy yourself. You're supposed to enjoy yourself. You're supposed to give your soul to other people when you live. That is what it means to be Fianna.
Right, but, I mean, I didn't think that what I did was the kind of stuff that, you and the rest of the ancestors would want me to do.
Why wouldn't we? As long as you're fighting for Gaia and you're trying to push back the worm, you have to keep yourself grounded with both the human and the wolf. And you seem to be drifting from the human. You seem to be drifting into yourself. You seem to be thinking yourself a well that you couldn't escape from.
I mean, you're right, I don't feel like I can escape from this whole different part of me.
It's not about escaping, it's about the balance of it. You're not a well. As we saw, you were able to belt out words better than ever I could. Now, some of that goes to your auspice, sure, but you're a damn good singer. And it's good that you share that with the world. It's not just about fighting the worm, it is about making the world tolerable. And that is how you fight the worm within your own heart.
So, let me get this straight. You're telling me that I can fight the worm with words? And then I just sort of keel over and start laughing.
Do you think words have no effect on the worm?
To be honest, like, the amount of worm-related creatures that I've come across in the last, few months, no, they have been very physical. I don't think word would help.
That's one facet of the worm. Let me ask you this. How did some of those people become those physical manifestations of the worm? You do have to fight those too, but you have other gifts. But, Gaia, no, it ain't your wits.
Well, I would almost be offended if it wasn't so true. I don't know, it's just... I always feel like I'm either being a disappointment, or you're trying to tell me to do something else which contradicts the thing that I got told to do the first time. I'm just very, very confused here.
What I'm trying to tell you, and maybe some of the ancestors have different views of it, but they're stodgy old bastards. And I'm trying to tell you that you always have to have a connection to the people that you're trying to save. Otherwise, it feels like a burden, not a duty. Duty and burden are not the same things.
Okay, I guess that makes a bit more sense. Still really wrong of you to trick me like that, but...
If I came out and just said it, would you have listened? If I showed up as a grizzly old man and went, Morgan, Morgan, I have words for you from the beyond. Would you not have just shut off your brain?
You make a fair point.
Ragabosh gets you to do what they want, sometimes through trickery, but more so, the lesson is wrapped in the prank.
I feel like that's something Roy needs to learn.
I don't know who he is, but I'm sure his own spirits could give him his own lessons. My only point is that you're running from who you are because you think that you can't love who you are, what you do for fun, what it means to be connected with people, to make them feel joy, what makes you feel joy in turn. Joy fights the worm as well. The worm is the excess. It is the corruption of joy, the addiction, what joy was, and turns joy into pain. New joy, real joy, drives the worm out of the hearts of men and makes it much harder for Banes to steal their souls and their bodies.
Okay. I think I understand what you're saying now. I didn't really think of it like that before, which I guess is kind of obvious. I know, I think I was thinking about it just in a very different way that, made me very annoyed with the path that was kind of being forced upon me, but I guess if I can continue what I'm doing and still do the thing that needs to be done, then I guess that's not too bad.
Exactly. And I think you'll do great at it once you've had the blinders off. Your grandma, she's a little too hard-headed, much like a certain other person in this conversation, now that I think about it, to come out and say what she means.
You have been quite hard-headed, I do admit.
Oh, well, there's a little wit with you still.
Yeah, just a tiny bit.
Stag bless us. It's good to hear.
I guess I got my answer, and it wasn't as painful as I thought it was going to be. So that's a plus, because the last time I did this, boy, did that give me nightmares.
It's worth trying different methods with the pups. Apparently, my daughter's attempt didn't go over quite as planned, but much like there's two aspects to your life, bringing joy to yourself and others while still fighting the worm and shouldering that burden, there are still two aspects to you that you'll have to learn to balance. You're a wolf and a human, and you focus a bit more on the human. Most of us born Hamid do, but it is worth remembering the wolf half and listening to it.
Yeah, I really do struggle on that bit. Might be different now, though.
It could be. Instinct comes when the mind's a bit clear of distractions, and the wolf runs on instinct.
Well, this has been an insightful chat. Thank you, I guess, for not being more confusing.
Certainly. Call upon us if you need us. As you see a couple eyes from the forest, we can give you some knowledge and some skills as needed. Call upon us, and we can try and lead you through our own experiences. You are never alone. We are here to help you and to support you. That is family. And the whole scene kind of disappears, and you feel yourself, the area closing around you as you're back into the stump of the tree, as the light is just pouring in from right behind you. Helios still emanating light from all directions.
Well, that was not as mentally painful as I thought it was going to be, but goddamn, do I need another brew.
How many dots and ancestors does Morgan have?
Let's see. Surprisingly, none.
She gains 1.
Ooh, I don't have any place to put that, so I'll put it down somewhere else.
All right. When you want to call upon your ancestors, you can roll ancestors difficulty 8, and they will add, however many successes you roll, can be dice added to a specific skill.
Okay.
Roy, you're kind of wandering about. What kind of things are you looking to do? Politics or?
More philosophical right now.
Okay. Doing that, you may want to speak with Fate Dancer, who is a Thurge. But you may also want to try and speak with Earthwalker, who is a third for the Children of Gaia. Or you could try and find Daniel Winds of the Bitter Song, who is a Galliard of the Wendigo.
Let's go with Fate Dancer,
Okay.
and then Winds of Bitter if I have time.
All right. Fate Dancer is moving about as you see her tending to some stones that are placed here in the cairn in the physical world. They have Gaoru glyphs on them as you see her place her hands upon them and gifts them gnosis.
Morning, Fate Dancer.
Morning, Mindscape, right?
That is correct. How are you doing this morning?
Good. I'm just performing some of the rituals here to keep the cairn healthy. The keeper of the land was feeling distracted and is dealing with some kinfolk issues, so I decided to take up some of those duties today.
Well, that's nice of you to step in.
We're all part of this cairn. It's all our responsibility to keep it healthy and strong. If we lapse in that, it could lose strength and another fount of Gaia's lifeblood would close.
That is very true. I'm kind of ignorant on this. Would you mind walking me through exactly what you're doing?
Certainly. The cairn here has certain spiritual properties. These properties keep it in a way contained. This is a cairn of visions, and so visions draw people to it. However, because we are in a slightly precarious position, we have muted that or caused it to focus and fold within itself and simply given vision to those who are here. This is so that we don't draw too many Gaoru here. Now this may become counterproductive as the Sept opens up, but it is a task I continue to do. There's also certain things, but those are the secrets that we of older brother hold.
Not much of a secret if you keep talking about it.
Well, the other
Not that I'm
bit.
complaining.
Oh, well, I told you the public-facing bit. The rest I keep to myself. And she kind of smiles.
For now, that's fine. How does one, look for these visions if you're muting them? Do you just choose who gets them and who doesn't?
No, it's quite simple, really. If those wish to gain some visions, there are some more sensitive to it than others. Some have taken gifts that allow them visions, and they become increasingly vivid here, especially. But if one were to sleep in the Umbra here, then the patron spirit, Golden Eagle, Child of Phoenix, might gift them a vision. It happens quite often. They're a bit disjointed, but they are glimpses of the future, glimpses of inspiration, maybe a call to duty or a call of purpose.
Okay.
It's very similar to, have you not gone and walked in the wilds, looked at the heart of nature, and simply felt inspired to preserve it?
I must say that I have not. I'm, as you say, disjointed from my wolf side for a while, and I've been looking to try and connect with it more.
I don't know if that's a wolf side necessarily. Have you not? There are many people who walk near the cairn and even in the cairn. There are trails that cut through it, that weaken it in places, but they come to look at the iron red stones to inspire them, to make them feel connected to nature, to feel its majesty. I feel that that's just as much a human instinct as a wolf one.
I feel the wolf might hold it in higher regard than humans.
Maybe.
Wolves don't trash these trails. They don't leave garbage behind.
That's true. And there are certainly people who do that, but wolves are more mindful of the now, which is why they're able to appreciate Gaia and all of her bounty. They're not concerned about the future, they are concerned about the now. Have my pup survive now. I am hungry now. We must patrol the territory now. There's always now, and while yesterday teaches lessons, and they remember them, they only hold the lessons of yesterday long enough to continue to survive in the now, to live together and protect those in their family.
In that case, then most animals don't have much of a difference.
That is to some degree true, though red talons would greatly argue that point, I'm sure. Wolves have a bit more intellect than your average animal. They have to. But they don't create the same... They're able to plan. That's how they hunt. But they don't have vast, elaborate plans and board meetings and things like that to see how they can elevate themselves above nature, to make their prey subservient to them. That's the difference. Humanity always feels compulsion to control or shape nature outside of the natural order. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And to a degree, I have to agree. But as you say, you still have people coming to look and view all of Gaia in awe instead of, shaping it, as you say.
Yes. Humans love the moments of seeing Gaia in all of her awe, but a big part of it is they like to be disconnected from it. Disconnection breeds, in many ways, pain. It robs purpose, but it also breeds safety. When you are not a part of nature, you are not part of her whims. When you try and elevate yourself, you no longer have to worry about the predator, where prey comes from. But it also means that you don't respect what it gives you. No matter how much humanity elevates itself above Gaia, their foundations and their roots are still within her.
This is also true.
And with that disconnect, that creates an emptiness that allows the grandfather serpent to fester.
I'll have to meditate on these words that you say. Make sure that they ring true in my own heart. It's a lot to take in all at once.
I understand that. There are many facets to Gaia, and it is difficult to fully take in and comprehend even one face. Alright, we'll go with now Zeb. You're kind of going around collecting yourself. You've been hanging out. You've had the same two visions again.
Okay.
Back to back this time. Though this time you don't have the bruise on your arm where the thing grabbed you.
Okay.
So, with the Sept open.
I will go find Earthwalker again. I'll go talk to him as we had spoken before, or at least go seek him out.
Alright. You do find Earthwalker as he's kind of just hanging about, taking in a few deep breaths. He's kind of been walking the trails, looking like a jogger, as a form of reconnaissance, just to keep an eye on the people here in the park itself.
Okay.
Zeb, right?
Yes. May I intrude upon some of your time, or at least your walk?
Yeah, sure. Let's go over this trail. He points to one and goes, we patrol this trail more often, so folks always feel like it's dangerous.
Have you seen an increase of intruders here?
Oh, well, it's a park, so we just like to be careful.
Disrupts the harmony, I understand.
So what can I do for you?
If I may, I'm going to intrude upon your time again for a little bit. It's going to get a little bit insufferable if I keep on talking about visions, so I thought I might change my question. The more I interact with my own pack, other Gaoru that I travel with now, there's a lot of pain and a lot of hardship. I want to try to advise them the right way. Steer them, maybe use these visions, but I'm not quite sure. I'd appreciate maybe the guidance you have or some wisdom you can share just to do this job a little bit better.
Well, I suppose part of it is that, at least with my pack, we're rather open with each other. I try and explain my visions best to them, but the spirits speak a little more clearly to the Thurges, and it always seems like it comes out jumbled to everyone else, but part of it is simply listening to their pain. One can't address emotional wounds if they refuse to acknowledge them they're there.
No, that makes sense well enough. I try in that regard, but you make me reflect on another piece of this about the clarity. I consider now more the repetition. I'm not so full of myself that I think that somehow I'm getting the special visions that are gonna save everyone or have some earth-shattering change. But the repetition now, the vivid nature, worrying about maybe the safety of my friends, I consider all of this as now that's all that interrupts my sleep.
This is a Sept of visions, and it is likely that that is having an effect on your visions.
Is there a time when it's time to go because there's only just so much you can take? I'm not planning on moving in, but I want everyone to think or consider your own perspective of how long before it's truly time to act. I understand we're all our own, but I feel like it's time to move.
If you feel that way, it might be time to talk to your pack, but who knows? There's much to do here, and maybe the spirits are simply guiding you to take action here as well. Perhaps working here is what helps prevent or create your visions.
Perhaps so. I delivered a message here, and I spoke some with Fate Dancer. I know little of the dynamics here, but I do know that there is struggle, strife within. What do you view as something that maybe we could help with outside of that? Because I don't know if that's a role for us, certainly.
Well, you're outsiders, so perhaps you might be able to tip things around. Teresa and Regender have always had this sort of conflict, a conflict that I've known since I was a cub here since I was a cub and came here when I was but a Cleoth. But no. I think Teresa refuses to see reason, that she thinks that she can make this an Uktena Sept again, when that's simply not going to be the reality. This is a Sept for all Gaoru, and we cannot go backwards and make this a single tribe Sept, and it seems like that's what she wants to do. She keeps reaching out to Uktena and Wendigo Septs, so if you could try and get her to understand the strength of unity, and every time someone tries to say it to her, she grows angry and restless, as if these fundamental truths anger her.
I'm not about to just, turn the corner and go find her now, but you think there's weight from outsiders over time that might carry? I'll consider this more in depth, but do you think there's some confidence to place behind that?
I don't know. We've tried to put it that way. There's been people who've moved into the Sept from outside of it for years. I'm one of them. Many Gaoru come to move in here. Only maybe a third were born here in the city or born in Colorado in general and started their journey as Cleoth here. And many of them cling to Teresa's side of things, thinking that that keeping things insular would be beneficial, and I simply don't see it that way.
As one that rarely travels with a pack, I certainly see the capability and the strength and diversity. Can you tell me something maybe of pertinent visions of your own? I won't intrude into your own personal thoughts and feelings if they are indeed something so close to your heart, but maybe something else that might explain some of the things I've seen. If maybe truths are being revealed to more than just a few of us.
I have seen things. I've seen a worm, like an earthworm, digging. It continues to dig, and behind it leaves a trail of green slime. It does this, and it burrows, and it feeds, until it finds itself in a heart of a tree, and feeds upon it. The leaves wither, and the tree dies, and it is there that I see two winds clashing and rattling. The tree shakes, but they don't see that it's dead. And then I wake up.
That sounds like the creep of corruption, and I don't suppose it takes a genius to look and consider that very fact. I worry sometimes about the struggle that our own people have over things, but I thank you for sharing your vision. It'll give me something else to consider. Maybe I'll have more pertinent, relevant thoughts in time, and I'll share them with you.
Well, you now have time and a chance to try and enact expressing yourself emotionally to your own pack, as he puts his hand on your shoulder and points to Roy coming towards you both.
Perhaps I will. Thank you.
I'm going to get back on patrol. Good luck. And there's a lesson we all have to learn as he taps you on the back and heads off.
How goes it, Roy? Now a member of the Get of Fenris, rending the enemies of the Gru into pieces, fighting for great glory against impossible odds.
Hardly. I'm still a stargazer, and I don't see myself being a Get anytime in the future. But I am trying to understand them to a better degree.
You're an explorer, my friend. That's admirable to me. Go out and ask the right questions. Ask any question. I think this is good. I think it's important to remember for your own sake that the people will have their motivations and their guides, the things that they consider too. Just ask and listen. Maybe you'll get more out of it, but I envy you, Roy. I envy the eyes that you see creation.
Yes,
So
but
what have
it
you
is.
learned here now?
I've learned that it's hard, and that I still need to get in touch with nature. This is a place of visions.
It is a place of visions, powerful ones, Roy, and I'll tell you maybe the most disturbing thing you can hear from a theurge any day of the week, and it's, I had a vision, and you were there. But it was a good thing, Roy. You were turning away from darkness, a darkness that was trying to get its grip around you. So I think you're going right, Roy. There's another part of that vision too. It makes me want to kind of explore like you. I feel like there's a change coming. And I know it sounds vague and a little bit annoying, but something we might need to be looking out for. Something maybe coming our way. Maybe something we can do that'll be good here too. But what else? I mean, aside from the place of vision, anything else considerable? We should probably try to find our friend Morgan. I haven't seen her since the concert.
She's probably dealing with a hangover. If, watching her drinks any sort of... If it's any indication of the drinking that she did last night, she's probably holed up or eating breakfast with all of the grease and drinking tea.
Or all of
Bacon
the
and-
above.
Little did they know she's actually chilling with her great-grandpa. But anyway, off to Fomori's Bane. Let's see what they're doing today. Let's start with Kyle.
Oh, are we going it individually and not...
Or you can do it as a group. Fomori's Bane, and would you like to do something individually? I don't know.
I thought we were going to go hunt down not hunt down, but find that
the Grawl?
the
Oh, yeah, that was it.
All right. So yeah, how would you guys like to try and get up to Victor?
And one quick question first. Can I have recovered some rage since a night passed?
Let's see. Let me see what the moon was that day, and I'll tell you how much rage you can recover. Up to your permanent 5 temp rage.
Fantastic.
It was a full moon that night.
Ooh, for me too?
You're at full rage. You
No,
can't
I'm
go above
one
your
below.
permanent. Oh, were you? Okay, so you're at full
Yeah,
rage.
it was. Fantastic.
And then I know that Victor's in the mountains, but I have no fucking clue where Victor is.
It's just past Cripple Creek, so you have to go south of Cripple Creek. So you'd have to go all the way up to Divide, and then go south for miles. Get to Cripple Creek, and then keep going. How do you guys want to do that? You can cut some time out by trying to basically run over the mountains in the physical realm.
I mean, we could.
Is that faster than taking a bus to Cripple Creek?
It would not be faster, but it would be less miles. That makes sense.
Oh, sure. We're not as fast as buses.
Do you remember me last time on a bus?
And remember, I'm a very spicy boy right now.
All right. Well,
And the difficulty to frenzy is 4 right now.
Yeah, no, I'm running.
all right.
I'm
Yeah,
not getting on a bus.
we'll run. We'll run.
We will run, and I will recount my spirit journey and my spirit visions to my pack.
All right. So you guys are going to run. That's going to take about almost a day, basically.
Sure.
All right.
Well done, guys. Filling our day with productive things.
That evening, real quick, you guys find out the Infernal Alphas. You learn of a new Gaoru who has just come to the Sept of the Sacred Stone. His name is Jatu Winds of the Ashen Dead.
Hey.
And he has come to visit. He apparently has news from Septs far and wide.
Quite the name he earned.
We've met him before, right?
Yes, when you were but wee pups.
That's what I thought.
Oh.
So he will be speaking the next evening. So you can all listen to the news, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So it is the next day. Fomori's Bane, you finally get around to Victor. It's a small town. The only road that is paved is the main road going through it, the highway, that cuts off and ends in a dirt road. Part of the mountain to the north of you, as you're coming in from the east, is torn asunder as you see the guts of the mountain hanging open and the rocks tinged in unnatural color as the various acids used to eat away at the mountain have been used to get at the gold and to separate the gold dust from the rocks proper.
All right, so the information that we got from there said that he was in a den near one of the lakes, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, we have to find a lake and then find the oldest tree on the east side of the mountain, I think.
Okay. Should be easy enough.
Are we able to get a map?
You could try and go to one of the...
Like a gas station or something?
Turns out the nearest gas station is Cripple Creek, which means you have to go further the other...
Oh, Jesus.
Which means you have to travel a good, let's see. Yeah, so that would be another 5 miles.
No,
Well, let's have Mark ask a spirit.
Sure. I was just going to say we could probably try and sniff out water, but...
All right,
That
so
might
you'll
be
have to
easier.
find a reflective surface and pass into the Umbra.
So, Garcelo, if you're thinking what I'm thinking we just ask a tree spirit and ask where the oldest tree is.
We could do that. I was thinking to find the lake, but that might skip us ahead a couple steps.
Yeah, actually, it could be better if we do it stepward. Definitely. Okay. That way, that tree spirit isn't like talking about the oldest tree that it knows of. You know, kind of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But onward and into the Umbra.
Okay. You find a reflective surface. Thanks to the very rural nature of this place, it is difficulty 6 to pass over.
Okay. Oh, shoot, I forgot to bring that up. Notebook, where are you?
So, Gnosis roll, please.
5 minutes.
After 5 minutes of meditation, you pass over as the part of the mountain that was ripped open for mines looks like a human scab almost on the side of the mountain. The rocks smell. They kind of have the smell of week old cheese, and though they are cracked, you see pus leaking from them. The worm has touched this place.
We shouldn't summon spirits here. We should try to go out more into the wild and ask there.
Yeah, and I can't believe I'm just remembering this, but I do think that we were warned that spirals operate in this area.
Oh, definitely discretion. I'd rather not run into more spirals.
Okay, so, and as you pass into the physical world, you do know, or the umbral realm, you do notice that the whole town essentially vanishes. There's just a few threads of spider silk. With the exception of a few buildings on Main Street simply because they are over a century old.
Well, let's see here. So, Bear said a lake and a basin? Is that what?
It's a lake in a valley.
A lake in a valley. Okay. Maybe we should try to climb the mountain, get to the other side.
Well, I do believe he said specifically that it was still on the east side of the mountain.
Okay.
He did say that. Your eidetic memory has served you again.
Wonderful. Let's just go a little out of the horrible pussy scab.
Yeah,
and
I'm
then
feeling
summon a
very
spirit.
uncomfortable here that we need to get elsewhere.
As you move around, you do unfortunately tip a few of the stones, even though they look like stones outside of the scab. A few of the stones have the same texture and inconsistency of rancid cheese as you step on it and you feel a stone kind of splat between your toes.
Ugh.
Ew.
Why would you describe it like that? What's wrong with you?
Toe cheese.
No. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that as a
Well,
visual.
clearly the worm wants it, Jade.
No.
Jade's reaction staying in.
I like cheese. You're ruining cheese for me. Stop it.
Nothing can ruin cheese.
The more and more I get to know Jade, the more and more I think she's actually a mouse.
No, I'm big and tall and buff and yeah, I'm.
That sounds like something a mouse would want me to think.
Anyway, as you guys get around, you see the vibrant nature again. It's fairly untouched here, thankfully, though it is, in fact, only a matter of time before the mind gets to this side of the mountain. The trees are tall and vast as they climb out. The pines are immense, strong. The pine cones hanging off of them, even in this season in the Umbra, as it is the perfect, idyllic version of a pine forest here. Gaia in the wild is strong here.
Cora has flashbacks of getting hit in the chest and falling. I was like, yeah, they're not gonna run around crazy.
What would you all like to do?
Are we still in the? We're still in the Umbra. Yes.
Correct. Yep.
Are there any lakes?
There are. You have to climb one of the trees, but you're able to see a lake. It is just a little north of you. So if you travel a little north, you'd still be on the face of the mountain, and that would give you a good starting point.
Okay. I'll climb down from the tree, and I'll talk to Kyle and Cora, and I'll say, I saw a little lake north of here. Maybe we can start our search there, ask spirits around there.
To navigate properly, I will have you roll a wits survival.
What's everyone having that?
I have 4 in wits and 1 in survival.
Oh, that's probably going to be you then.
Yeah, my total's 3.
I kind of tried to make Mark like an outdoorsy guy. Not stupid, but like, outdoorsy.
Yeah, so give us that roll. Diff 6, please. Alright, you're able to navigate there pretty solidly. It only takes about an hour and a half of hiking through the rough and tumble of this place. Through the distance, in the shadows, you occasionally see deer spirits, even a few bear spirits.
Ooh.
Englings mostly, though there was at least one bear spirit that was a jagling, and thus powerful enough to be sentient. As you get to the lake and the waves wash up slow, it is crystal clear and serene. Some trees gathering along the north bank, their roots crumbling through the earth and touching down into the lake proper, creating a tangled web for birds to perch their nests. And the bird spirits do exactly that. The marsh weeds are long and the trout swim in beautiful schools through the crystal waters, and below them you see the lake grasses sway with the waves.
I was gonna say, do you think we should talk to the juggling bear spirit, since it's sentient? Just like, you know.
We could try approaching it.
It just might, it might know something, and also, I mean, it's a bear spirit, so kind of makes sense.
Do you think it could probably sense our connection to Bear?
I don't know. That's your realm.
That's very true.
It's
That's
a
very
cult.
true, Two-Hearts. Yeah. So I will try to see. Yeah. Difficulty.
6? Yeah, the bear is likely to smell the connection with you and your totem.
After sensing this, I'll turn the guards to low and Two-Hearts. There's definitely a chance he could sense our connection. Very powerful spirit over there. I say we go talk to him. Or rather, I could go talk to him.
Please.
Will do. And I'll head back the way we saw the jagling. And I'll kind of make my presence known somehow.
As it looks at you, it sniffs.
I smell my kin upon you. What do you wish, Wolf? There is no reason for bloodshed here.
Of course. I am not here for that. In fact, the exact opposite.
He was German.
I'm here to speak with you. I have some questions.
What kind of questions are you seeking?
We're just searching for a particular lake. And I'm sure you're wondering why I smell like your kin. It's because bear is my totem. I am Gaoru.
I gather the Gaoru from you. I could smell the flesh upon you. Not fully spirit.
Well, I certainly hope you have answers for me, and I could gladly provide you some gnosis in return.
That is acceptable. It grows at a time when I must grow fat.
Of course, gladly. And I'll kind of stick my hand out and I'll focus a little bit of gnosis on it. And
He swallows it down and goes,
That is the largest lake in the area. It seems like the one most likely that you look for.
Well, thank you very much, Spirit. Gaia be with you. And I'll kind of give a little reverent bow and turn around.
as it
And
bows slightly to you and moves back off into the forest.
Then I'll come back to Two-Hearts and guards the low. And I'll go, Friendly Spirit. He says this is the largest of the lakes in the area. And he says, if we were to start our search here, there's a good chance we could find it.
Wonderful. Then let's be off.
Okay.
You're off. Can I get a wits investigation to determine how long you guys are searching?
Ooh, I only got
From all of us, or just one?
Just one to make it easy.
I have 4 dice for that.
I
Better
have
than my
5.
3.
So it looks like Kyle. Nice.
All right, Kyle, you guys are searching on that mountain for about 4 hours before in the umbralscape you see this pine tree that's massive. It's larger than all the other ones around it. Its roots creaking off in various different directions and growing up as other trees seem to be sprouting from those roots. And beneath it is a small den of some kind.
Cora's getting excited. Do you think this could be it? I think so.
Well, I'm sure this out of character. What are they called again? Gaoru?
Gural.
Garal. Okay. Well, I'm sure this Garal wasn't expecting any visitors, so maybe we should announce ourselves.
Well, I believe it's hibernating,
Oh,
right?
Yes.
okay. Well,
So it might take a little more than just announcing to wake it up, but I'd rather be gentle.
Our goal was to find it, right?
And wake it up because the mine is coming closer to where it's sleeping.
Okay. Perfect.
oh, the Umbral Mine. Okay.
Well, the physical mine, too.
Okay. So we're there just to warn him. Okay. So, yeah, I guess we're just here to deliver a message. So, I'm thinking, I don't know, we get a big long stick and poke him?
No.
Literally poke the bear?
I think not. Maybe a little more decorum.
Maybe we announce ourselves? Like, really loudly?
I mean, we could try that first, and then I don't know. Bears seem to not like anyone coming into their dens. You could poke a head in. I don't know.
Well, I'd suppose just try announcing us.
I guess I'll switch into lupus form.
Okay.
And I'll just let loose a greeting howl, I guess. Like, hey, we're here. Like, I don't know. I don't know how wolves talk to a bear.
So you howl?
Spirit, right?
No, a gorilla is a bear shifter.
But you don't hear any answer from inside the cave.
I'll kind of go forward, and I'll give the cave a good squinting, give a good look inside.
As you look inside, it's hard to see, it's very dark. But it doesn't appear like there's anything in the cave.
Maybe we should look in the physical realm and not just the umbral realm.
Well, if he was here, there'd be evidence of him being in the physical, because he would have a gnosis mark.
That's a shadow. How do you see a shadow in darkness?
That's true.
That's why it's not a failsafe.
Ah, okay.
Then let's go over.
Yeah, I say we should find a nearby reflective surface, the lake. And good idea.
All right, because you are in rural area now, the Gnosis roll to pass over is difficulty 4.
Yes, that's you, Sam.
So you pass through in about 60 seconds, and you guys trek back up the mountain. As you get to the tree is not nearly as impressive in the physical realm. There is a kind of hole that's pretty tight, but you can crawl it in either your Homid or Lupus form, but it is not large enough for any of your other forms.
What do you think, Guardsalo?
If you can't speak Garal, I figured Spirit Speech would include that, but if it doesn't, then let's go for Hamid, so we can at least communicate with it. It'll understand that.
Yeah, so I think going inside the hole would be a little invasive. We're not here to invade, so I think just giving a good old yell.
You hear kind of a stirring from your yell, but it seems like the person is still... Whatever's in there is still sleeping. It needs something else to awaken it.
Oh, does it need food?
No, that doesn't seem to be the thing. It seems as if Bear wants you to go in and interact with it.
Okay.
Okay. Fair
And
enough.
in we go.
Okay, Lupus form, I say.
I'm probably going to be in Hamid so it can understand me.
Okay, actually that's even better.
Okay. Yeah.
So, crawling through in Hamid, you see a large Native American man asleep, dust from ages on him, and some of the roots actually clinging to his clothing. He's been here a very long time. It opens up into a much larger kind of expanse as you pass. Who's in front?
I'll go in front.
Kyle, as you cross the threshold into the larger chamber, you see this man's eyes flutter open and awaken. As he looks at you, you see him startled, and you see his body grow by over a foot and muscles growing on him.
Oh, we follow Bear.
As he
He's our
looks at,
totem.
he looks at you, confused, as he starts speaking a language you don't understand.
Do you happen to understand it, Mark?
I don't think so, but
Intelligence academics?
all right. Hey, nice. All right. Difficulty.
We'll go with 8. This is a
Okay. Yeah.
This is a bit niche by the American education system, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely.
Damn, nice. You kind of put together through context alone that he's speaking Shoshonean,
Oh.
which is the dialect of the Ute Indians who lived in these parts.
Okay. So I'll relay this information to Gartzelo and Two-Hearts. Say, I don't really understand what he's saying, but I know he's speaking like you. Like, Ute was the tribe that lived here.
I wish I knew Ute.
As he looks you over as he starts speaking, as you hear kind of bear growls in his voice, or in his speech,
Oh,
as he looks for a response.
and out of character, we don't get bear speech being followers of bear, do we?
No.
No.
We can
that's
speak
nice.
to our totem, but that's a power granted to our totem.
Yeah. Frick. I don't want to make it blatant that we are Gaoru because that's probably why he's here hiding. Because of the War of Rage. Should we, hold up our hands?
Well, do we have a reflective surface with us?
Oh,
A
yeah.
cell phone, maybe?
I don't think any of you have a cell phone. That's with Roy.
Oh, right. That's... Damn
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Is there a puddle in here?
No.
Damn.
I want to... So you said there was branches covering him.
There's
Like
roots, yeah.
All right, and he's broken out of that.
Yep.
I want to, pick up one of the roots and just start drawing. And I want to do my best to draw, a bear.
Okay. Do you want to use the Gaoru glyph for bear?
No.
Okay. He looks at the bear and he goes,
And then I will draw a picture of, us, kind of like little figures.
Okay.
And then kind of circle it, and then kind of point at myself and Kyle and Cora, and then kind of point an arrow, bear sent us, and then I'll point at him, kind of to look for you.
as he seems to consider that for a moment. And, hang on.
Are there any injuries on him of any sort?
You notice that there are impressive amounts of scars leading up and down his arms, an almost innumerable number of them.
Are there any that look like they're open right now? Maybe in his flexing and whatnot, wounds had opened up?
No, these are old wounds.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And he looks at you for a moment and he thinks before hang on. He nods and takes his claw and he draws into the earth in front of you. You all recognize that as the Gaoru glyph for Gaia.
It's the Gaoru symbol. He's hedging a bet that we're probably Gaoru. He might smell it on us. Most likely, he is smelling it on us. So I'll just draw the symbol for Gaoru in the dirt.
All right. So you draw.
I'll passively just point it at us, but try to direct that we're bear totem. We're Gaoru, but we follow bear.
Maybe do brew and then bear.
And then do the bear symbol
Yeah.
in the Gaoru runes.
Okay. I don't think they have that one, but that's fine. So you draw the bear glyph. He looks at it. You see him take a few deep breaths, and he speaks in a very broken version of the Gaoru tongue. You're Gaoru? As he's struggling to get the right growls in his voice.
Yes, we are Gaoru. I'll say in like simple, as best as I can, simplified Gaoru dialect to him, I guess.
As he looks at you and goes, I understand you don't have right voice for Gaoru speech.
Fair enough.
So he's in big bear form, isn't he?
No, he's in his equivalent of Glabro, which adds a foot to him and as much muscle as a Hispo.
Oh, damn.
We can find a bear spirit to facilitate. Well, facilitate probably won't work. To help talk.
As he looks you over, and he just kind of concentrates and shifts back to Hamid. As he starts trying to actually communicating with you in the glyphs, as he's fluent in those. As he writes, glyphs were created by Gaoru and Gurel in the time before his ancestors fell.
Is this something that we're taught?
No.
I'll write in runes. Do you speak of the War of Rage?
The first one.
And I'll turn back and I'll mention the Two-Hearts and I'll mention to guards below that I met a spirit on my journey that was in the War of Rage. And so this is... Mark's pretty much like freaking out right now. This is ancient lost lore.
He looks at you for a moment and just kind of goes. He points at you, and then he points at himself, and then he draws. He starts kind of writing out, if you're here, then the second war is lost.
Cole will just drop her head, like, frick. Not a happy realization for him.
I'll write a question in runes. Second War of Rage.
Second war, when the tribes of older brother and younger brother made peace with the Gurel. And then the Gaoru from across the sea came and drove many west. He speaks about, and he goes, when I was a cub and was in my first auspice, I saw very few, and then there's no Gaoru word for it, as he goes, I saw very few, and then he points to you all. This was, as he goes, this was our land before, and he points to all of you again. Very few of, and he points to you, came this far west before I went to sleep.
Is there's Garu's glyphs for, like, totem and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we should probably express that bear is our totem and why we're here.
And we can take him to Bear.
We could.
But we're originally here to deliver a message. That's all Bear asked us. So we can just, I don't know, prove that we're from Bear and then relay our message.
Well, you didn't really get a message. You were just here to wake his ass up.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
I would like to write, like, yes, the Second War of Rage was lost. That was centuries ago at this point. Yes? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, 2?
About.
At least?
Yeah.
So I will relay that as well, that it has been a long time.
Yeah, since there's no definitive term for centuries, you talk basically in huge times, basically. And he nods. And he looks at you and he asks, "Where shall I go? What is safety here? Where do the Gaoru roam? So that I may stay away from them."
Everywhere. Would we know of a place for him? Or...
You would basically tell him he could probably go south because that Sept is gone.
South? What Sept?
Pueblo.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It is. Yeah. I mean, he could probably go, like, in the mountains near Pueblo. Like, not near Pueblo, but, like, west of Pueblo, you know?
Mm-hmm.
There's certainly no Gaoru down there as you guys speak.
Yeah.
He nods and he points to the cave, like, for you all to get out.
Okay.
Okay.
And he crawls back behind you as he looks over and he sees the lake. As he takes a deep breath, as he kind of shifts back up to his equivalent of Glabro so he can speak. "My heart glad that," in his broken Gaoru dialect, "the worm has not come to this place."
Mark will write in runes in the dirt. "We fight the worm."
As he turns and he looks and he speaks, "I know."
I will write out that the worm is more prolific than before, and the weaver even more so.
And he asks you, how, when he points out to this vast open wilderness.
All very limited. Is there a word for cities?
There is. There is a Gaoru glyph for cities. It's almost the exact same glyph as the Glasswalker tribe rune.
Oh, perfect. Then I will write that large compared to all the other glyphs that have been written.
As he looks and he goes, And he he looks at it and nods. He seems confused by it, though.
So instead, I will beckon him to follow and say in Gaoru, we can show you some of the damage.
Show me.
And start walking to the mine.
Okay. As you walk up the mountain and he looks down at the mine, you see him shaking.
Wish I had my harmony flute.
As he turns and he looks at you and he goes, How? How have you failed so grandly?
Infighting.
The reasons are uncountable.
As he looks at you and goes, Gaia bleeding. As he takes a deep breath, and you see him look down towards the parts of the mine with all the chemical spills and all that, and he takes a deep sigh and he puts his hand upon the earth. And as he breathes in, you notice cuts and sores starting to rip open onto his arms, where he's holding it, and the scars and cuts start climbing up his body. And from that, though, you notice the chemicals and the pollutants in the earth are being physically drawn out and brought into his body, wounding him in place of Gaia.
Whoa, I'm gonna use Mother's Touch on him.
As he turns and goes, No!
And I'll back away.
As he takes a deep breath and collects himself and goes, No. Healing tongue on these hurts makes it bleed back into Gaia. Must heal normally.
Can I give him Gnosis to help him heal better?
Gnosis doesn't really help with that.
There is medicine, right? Yeah, we have points in medicine that we could use. Would that help at all?
Yes, that would help.
Okay, fantastic. Guys, I'm going to use our 3 shared points of medicine.
I have
please do.
I have 2.
Oh, you have 2? Then you use 2 points of or 3 of our shared medicine. That way you have 5 instead of my 4. And you help him.
Okay, so what am I rolling?
You'll roll intelligence medicine.
Okay.
As you patch him up, as he nods and he goes, "Thank you." As he looks over and goes, "I will go." And he kind of looks you over. "But we will speak again." As he goes, "We'll find way to speak easier with you."
I look forward to it.
As you see him shift into... You see his Hamid grow 12 inches, and then he becomes a towering 15-foot tall bear Krynos before dropping down onto all fours into a Krynos height at the shoulder bear, and then shifting down into a normal black bear as he runs off.
Oh, before he leaves, could we warn him about the black spirals in the area?
Yes.
Yeah. Would like to do that.
And
Definitely.
you do that. Meanwhile, back at the Sept of the Sacred Stone, night has fallen, and the Gaoru gather for their evening talks with, Winds of the Ashen Dead ready to give news from the Gaoru nation. He is a tall, lithe man of African descent. As he steps before all of you, he's got a nice set of travel clothes and a magpie swag. Several scars adorning his body, though he is clearly no Arun. As he kind of puts up his hands and goes, friends, I am always happy to be back. Thank you for your warm welcomes. And thank you for showing me that there are new people here and the Sept is still vibrant. It is good to see all of you. Gaia warms my heart as Owl carries me in his talons. But, we have things to speak about, I'm sure. I wish to relay some of the goings on. The first, Jonas Albrecht has found the Silver Crown, and he has cast his cousin down. His cousin, who had apparently fallen to the worm, and who was trying to become a Gaian king. Albrecht found the Silver Crown and used it to defeat his cousin, and has taken up the mantle of a Gaian king from his grandfather. From what I've heard of his adventures and what he has performed, Gaia finally shines upon the Silver Fangs for the first time in what feels like centuries. As you see one of the Gaoru there sneer, and a bit of a, under his breath, Gaia's always blessed us, fool. The next is that I've been traveling, through my travels in Mexico, the Shadow Lords and Uktena have discovered and strengthened some of the ancient binding spells on an ancient Bane that slept near the Gulf Coast. The Uktena used their spells to keep it down, and their kin, as well as a few of their own monkey wrenchers, attacked Endron rigs, while the Shadow Lords used their connections in the government and several contacts to create a wall of public opinion that has driven the company out. They will not drill for it. And the Bane will be left undisturbed as there's a howl of yes and revelry from the Sept. Finally, I wish to speak about something that seems more disturbing, especially from us who run the Umbra. There have been strange spirits appearing and disappearing in the Umbra, though they seem to be found more frequently at the edges of the penumbra in the near realm and the ethereal and astral realms near the membrane of the deep Umbra. These spirits of smoke seem to attempt to speak with Gaoru unsuccessfully. It is as if their bodies are not there, ethereal, in and out of existence. All attempts to communicate with them with spirit speech have failed, as if the spirit is not wholly there, and thus spirit speech cannot wholly work. Many Gaoru are speaking, and there are whispers among the campfires, but it is something to be aware of. Anyway, I will let you get back to your revelry. As he looks over at Zeb and he nods as if to speak with you.
I'll seek him out when the gathering breaks up.
All right, as you do.
My name is Speaks-in-Sweet-Whispers. Most call me Zeb. I'm of a pack called the Infernal Alphas, taking a short residence here. We have not met before, I do not think.
No, I do not believe so. I am Jatu, Winds of the Ashen Dead. I have no pack currently, and I run with Owl at my back.
Owl has been a friend and companion to us for many days now.
Ah, he guides your pack. Does he guide your tribe? I have the whiff of him about you.
He does. I am a silent strider.
As am I.
You have traveled far now these days.
I travel far all days, it seems, and I wanted to speak with you since I'd heard whisper that you were a silent strider. Apologies for me speaking so coyly. We silent striders like to keep these things close to the chest, and it's hard to reach out.
I understand. You might be the first I've met in some time now. Well, that's told me.
There's going to be a gathering of our people during the fall equinox. We'll be gathering not far from here, actually. We'll be near the border towards Utah. There's a small sacred spot dedicated for the Silent Striders here that we have created long ago.
I'm unaware of it, but I have a feeling I will know when I'm in its proximity.
It's at McInn's Canyon National Conservation Area. It is very, very harsh, but it is an excellent place to meet. It is beautiful and just outside of the city lights, and so the stars can greet us.
Very well. Shall I spread this message to others of our tribe if I come upon them?
Yes. And I wished you to know, in case you were able to go, pack members are welcome to a degree, though they will be left out of the tribe's more deeper delvings, of course. There's much to discuss this year, and there's some that I wish to speak to you, because it may concern you being a silent strider yourself.
I understand.
As he looks several ways and he moves in for a whisper as he goes, Wepowet has been seen in the Umbra outside of the homeland.
Keegan, do you want me to do an intercult roll for that, or should I
just
know that?
Roll intercult, because it's a bit more lean cut of Silent Strider, preschool, so to speak. This is like Silent Strider Junior College.
Alright, what's the difficulty?
We'll go with 6. So Wepowet is a almost immortal Silent Strider, one who bound himself with strange magics that released him from Gaia's cycle. Not a vampire, not really. He's still alive. He's not undead. But Owl, taking pity upon him, brought him to the Silent Strider homeland, and he has been its guardian ever since. He has guarded the homeland, the spiritual homeland of the Silent Striders, since the fall of Egypt and the scouring of Sept, who drove you from your homelands.
I got it. He's millennia old at this point, and he's been seen
outside of the homeland.
Outside of the homeland now.
Yep.
Do we think this is a result of danger, or has he somehow changed the nature of his pledge to protect our homeland and the spirit world?
That I'm not sure, but it appears he's been speaking to Silent Striders. A few have even vanished, but it's unclear where he is now, and it seems that paths to the River of Life have become harder to track in the Umbra. I'm not sure if it's because Wepowet has left the homeland, or if the Umbra itself is becoming more turbulent, but it is something to be aware of.
Very well, this is disturbing news, but it will be worthy to keep a look. Yes, I will.
I'm surprised that no one has spoken of it. He apparently had an explosive meeting with a Silent Strider north of here. but a month ago or so. As that rings bells to things that Roy has said to you.
I see. I'll be sure to collect some information relative to this. I perhaps overlooked something told to me previously. An oversight.
Of course. Glad to help. Hopefully I will see you at the Equinox Fest.
I hope so. When are you back on the road?
I leave tomorrow.
Alright, well, if I don't see you then, safe journey. Always, but perhaps we'll have one more conversation before you take your leave.
I look forward to it. I will be out and about for quite some time. I always enjoy the Sept, despite their petty grievances.
There are many of those, yes.
May the wings of Owl guard your step.
May he continue to guide you on your very important journey.
As he steps away. Morgan, there's some really nice booze here. Apparently it's been provided for with the Arcadian Watcher. She's been able to get fairy wine.
Ooh, I do approve. I will definitely be partaking in some of that.
Alright. Roy, you see Morgan going for some of the fairy wine?
She knows her body better than I do. If she wants to drink, she can drink.
Morgan, do you think this is time to peer pressure Roy into fairy wine? Because that sounds like character growth.
It sounds like the perfect time.
It doesn't take much.
I'm just gonna go over and I'm just gonna like pass a very large glass of fairy wine to Roy's hand and just be like, drink.
Twist my arm, why don't you?
Oh, it's hardly twisting your arm. If I was going to twist your arm, I'd actually twist your arm.
I don't know. I've gotten stronger since the last time we sparred.
I don't doubt that for a second. However, I too have gotten stronger since our last spar. So, you know, going off the fact that you lost the last one and we have both equally gotten stronger, probably still gonna lose to me if you fight me. But that's not the point. That's not the point. Right now, what we're gonna do is you're gonna drink.
Drinking contest?
Drinking contest. Let's go.
I'll just start chugging the wine before she even has a chance to, breathe before she starts drinking hers.
Oh, but mine's already like halfway down my throat.
Oh, well, keep drinking then.
Keep drinking!
It is at this point, Zeb, that you come across your two companions having a bit of a drinking contest.
Is there a clear leader in this field right now?
Both of you roll stamina. Diff 6.
Just stamina.
Yep.
Straight stam.
Great stam.
This is going to be a really bad time to use it, but I'm going to use my willpower.
You can't will yourself less drunk.
No cheating there. No cheating.
No, but I can look like I'm less drunk.
Roll, please.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
It does look like Roy is ahead.
It's stamina.
Is that like a perk? I got 2 10s.
It is not.
Fuck me. Okay, well.
Nice try.
Anyway, Zeb, you see that Roy is clearly ahead and holding his liquor a bit better.
I think Roy was born with a hollow leg. He's got the lead on you, Morgan.
Not for long.
That's what you think.
It's what I know.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, then why is it that I've drank more than you and you're more drunk than me?
Because I'm still hungover from yesterday.
Excuses. Usually this would actually help you.
I'm going through a mental crisis.
Do you want to talk about it? As I take another chug from my glass.
I don't want to talk about it. That's what alcohol's for.
Well, alcohol does make people's lips looser. So, give it enough. You'll talk.
That's not how alcohol works on me. It's a nice thought, but that's not how it works.
Either way.
Your alcohol fueled bravado has inspired me, sir. I wanted you to know, Coming up here in the fall equinox, there'll be a gathering of the Silent Striders, a little west of here. And you're both welcome to come. Might be a slightly different adventure for us to undertake.
What day is it currently?
It is June. It is June 19th.
Jeez, all right, that's still half a year away. Okay.
Yeah, it's a few months, yeah. It's some time, but it gives us a chance to, well, spread the word a little bit, too. Could be quite an adventure for you, Roy. And more.
And any day outside of the Sept and with you guys is an adventure. If you need to be there, then we'll go.
There was another thing that got mentioned, Roy, and I wanted to know if maybe it was something. I think you said something about it, and it faded from my mind. Like a great explosion in the north. Heated exchange. Some kind of terrible event that occurred. And I thought you had spoken to me about it before. I'm just trying to remember and put the pieces together again. Something maybe concerning a friend of yours?
Yes, I do remember the explosion. It's actually in regards to Melvin, our old packmate that I've been actually still looking for. It was an explosion that caused the Weaver to come in and correct and actually kind of overcorrect the area. So it's ransacked with spiders.
And your friend was trapped there, or he disappeared there?
He disappeared there, and we haven't been able to hear from him since. And ever since the previous version of the Infernal Alphas, Owl hasn't been able to get in contact with him.
How long has it been now?
What is it, about 2 months?
About a month or two, yep.
Between 6 to 8 weeks. I've been looking so long, I forgot the actual amount of days.
I think we should maybe mention this to our visitor. See if there's maybe a lead to find for us to go and pursue this. Maybe we can track him down the same way we did Mark.
Well, tracking Mark down was easy. He gave us exactly where he was. With Melvin, we haven't heard from him at all. Not even a whisper.
I think it's worth the question. Maybe we can reflect and find a place to start. You certainly haven't given up hope on him yet, have you?
I have not. And you'd be a fool to think that I would.
I would never accuse you of such a thing, my friend. You're brave enough to drink against Morgan and make Cora very, very angry. I don't dismiss your dedication, sir.
No, but you questioned my judgment. As he, smiles at him.
I question my own judgment plenty too, friend. Unless you two are still having the contest, maybe the three of us go talk to this shifty fella before he takes off tomorrow. He's supposed to leave then. Maybe we can put some pieces together and some clues to look for Melvin, you said?
That would be nice. And since this place is a place of visions, we might be able to get something from here as well.
Every little bit helps.
Morgan?
Well,
Do you have any... Oh, well, yeah, you're a little too wasted to add to this conversation.
I'm fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
So will Morgan be going with them, or will she continue to be drinking?
No, Morgan will go with.
All right. As you guys approach...
I was going to tell her to bring the keg.
As you all approach Winds of the Ashen Dead, as he's silently sitting back and just watching everyone, he's got kind of a content look upon his face as he looks at you three and goes, friend speaks in sweet whispers.
You reminded me of something, actually, that a comrade here mentioned before. Might have a few questions.
Very well.
This is Roy Mindscape and Morgan Bloodsinger Trevelyan. These are my packmates. And I think I butchered her last name, but I'm an ugly bastard. It's a little bit harder to talk.
It's a pleasure to meet you both.
Pleasure's mine.
Twice.
Oh, have a seat. I always enjoy speaking with the next generation. What can I do to... What kind of questions do you have for me? Something I told Zeb here that sparked your memory?
Morgan's gonna offer him the keg of fairy wine, just be like, drink.
I'll have a sip, but I prefer to keep the wits sharp.
I don't have that problem, I have no wits, so drink, there you go.
As he takes a sip and goes, "Thank you," and hands it back to you.
You're welcome, and I will keep the rest.
Fiona, I take it.
You got it in one.
I didn't even have to travel far to put that together.
It is blatantly obvious. I know. I just scream Fiona.
But anyway, to the matter at hand.
You bring news of an explosion up north. I was there. So was my packmate. Not just Morgan, but an older one, and he's disappeared. We were hoping that you might have information on his whereabouts, or at least a start for us to start tracking him down.
Is he a child of Owl?
Yes, he is.
I think destiny has called to him then, if what I've been hearing is true.
What do you mean?
I cannot go into too great a detail, but I do know that spirits have been surging, and one in particular, a kind of spirit, has been seeking out certain members of my tribe and taking them away for some sort of purpose. They've typically been younger, Foster or Cleoth, and his presence, because of the spirit's presence, it can cause tension with the pattern spiders. They'll overreact as he follows laws outside of what their broodmother designs, and even all of our mother designs. Gaia placed some restrictions on this spirit, but this spirit seems to be up and productive again. I think your packmate is being used in the grander designs of something.
Is he safe?
He's as safe as any Gaoru could be.
That's what I wanted to know. So it's not necessary for me to search him out then?
I don't believe so, at least not yet. I would say perhaps get some more clues. That information will be very valuable, and I know a lot of Silent Striders, if you were to find anything of consequence, would thank you greatly if you came across anything in your journeys and you shared with just us.
Of course. And I always have, and I'll elbow Zeb here. Always got him by my side as well.
That you do. As he just looks over at the rest of the Septs and he just goes, "It's odd, isn't it?"
I'll raise my eyebrow and I'll voice out loud, what exactly is odd?
Despite how rare we are, despite how many Karens fall, despite how many we lose year after year, there is revelry, and we try and forget the sadness that every time I come here, it's like the changing of the tides, with old faces mixed with new, and old things left unsaid, and new bonds forged. And as I run, I always wonder if those new bonds will rust away in the coming tide, or if they will strengthen only to be broken later.
If I've learned anything in the last couple of weeks, it's that we as the Gaoru live in the moment, and that's why we can drink and be merry even through all the saddest of times.
I think you're right. And that's why the Silent Striders run. We outpace sadness, but it always seems to follow at our heels. Ugh. Thank you for the wine and the conversation. I do appreciate it.
Again, the pleasure's all mine.
Welcome. Here, have some more wine.
Oh, I'm fine, thank you.
No, I insist. At least have one more sip.
She is insistent, isn't she?
Not just insistent, but also persistent.
Very well. As he takes a small sip, thank you very much. Enjoy your revel. I will try and enjoy myself.
We hope that you do.
And he heads off. You guys kind of revel, have fun. There's games as well. Gamecraft, physical games. The Gaoru have games here that include climbing up cliff walls, running up mountains, climbing trees to get to the top, tap them, and then run down before they hit you with stones, various games of physical prowess, mental prowess, and of course, storytelling and singing competitions. But the next day comes, and that morning, Fomori's Bane returns. You guys notice them. They seem tired, obviously, from their journey, but they also seem tired for some other reason.
And you said it's morning, right?
Yeah.
Well, good morning, you three.
Morning.
Morning.
What had you out? I didn't see you at party last night.
We had some business to take care of out of town.
Well, I hope it's taken care of.
It is. Ended on a good note.
Well, then come. Let's have breakfast. You must be tired.
Very.
Mm-hmm.
And then after breakfast, I think we should go talk to Bear. Honestly. I feel like that would be the right thing to do.
During your breakfasting, however, you are approached by Howling King. Cora.
Yes?
There's been another attack.
Excuse me, guys. I'll get up from the table and you want to walk?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll kind of turn to Kyle while I'm munching on food and kind of raise an inquisitive eyebrow. What's that about?
Out of character, I don't think we've talked about it with each other.
I don't think
no.
so either.
I think, yeah.
All right, Kyle will just shrug and continue eating breakfast.
We've just been so busy.
Same here.
It has not crossed minds.
Happened before you guys headed off that night. I was trying to find you, but you were already gone. Anyway,
sorry.
we've had some issues, and we're going to start investigating downtown in earnest at night. And I'd like to have you join us.
I would gladly.
Perfect. Time to protect some kin.
Mm.
If you want to get your pack involved, you can do that. But I know there's some stuff that seems to be peeking around. It's been getting under Steven's skin, which means it's going to get under his boyfriend's, as he points over to Kyle.
Can Kyle see this?
He just sees... Yeah, you just see Howling King pointing at Kyle.
And then Cora laughing, like holding her stomach laughing. I'll talk to him about it. But if there's something that Steven is wanting from Kyle, then he's probably gonna get it.
Yeah. Have you thought about getting Steven to join your pack? Anyway.
Kyle might be happier.
Anyway. Well,
When
they
are
can't
you gonna
produce.
head out?
They can't produce a metis, so that's good. We can do. Anyway, let's. We're gonna head out tonight. That's when the leeches are out. That's when we'll fuck things up as needed. You can talk to your other pack friends if you want to.
Sure. I'll talk to the Infernal Alphas about it.
All right. As he kind of walks off.
Deuces. Go back to dinner or breakfast. Fuck. Dinner, actually, probably for her at this point. Who wants to go hunting tonight? Raise a hands. Hunting leeches. Finger guns. It'll be
Can't say no to that.
It'll
Is
be
that just
fun.
a pack thing?
Nah, you're welcome to come if you want. Though Kyle, Howling King did mention something about Steven being upset about something, so if you want to take care of that, then no hard feelings.
I'll check in on him, see if he needs any help.
Sure, yeah. But we would love to have you along as well, because hunting leeches.
I'll come along and help you, Cora.
Perfect. We're leaving tonight. I'll just let Howling King know after breakfast.
I'll go let the rest of my pack know.
I thought they were there.
Me too.
Oh. Well,
Are you
neither of them
coming?
were talking, so I assumed.
Speaks-in-Sweet-Whispers. You on board?
Absolutely.
Yes, Morgan will also go.
Perfect, thank you.
So, Kyle, I assume you're going to start looking for Steven?
I believe he has a title now.
Town hall?
And his boyfriend.
Wow.
But yes, I will look for Steven to see what's up.
Okay. You two would make a pretty adorable couple, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, obviously.
It's true.
Clearly the ship that people want sailing.
I mean, look here, Jade, you gotta step aside because when it comes to ships, I am a goddamn admiral. I posted a status on my Facebook years ago of, they don't have to put in a romantic subplot for every show if it's unnecessary. Also me, kiss and be happy forever!
That's how it is, right?
Yes.
Oh my god damn it.
That's a wonderful line. Oh my god. Oh.
So, Kyle, you find Steven kind of just hanging about. He seems to be pacing a bit, talking to himself.
Hey man, any trouble?
Fuck yeah, there's trouble. And I finally got some buy-in from Valdez, Daniels, and Williams, too. Their kin are getting fucked with by cops.
Their kin?
Yeah. Oh, shit. Alright, so you were gone for most of this, so I don't, it was starting to escalate, but it came to a fucking head yesterday. Alright, so hear me out. The three kin in question are Tina Valdez, Boyd Daniels, and Tim Willems. Alright? And they're all cousins, second cousins, etc. of our esteemed high-level Gaoru. Anyway, they started a community network up here near Manitou in Old Colorado Springs, calling it the Families of the Peak. And basically, they're doing civil service, pooling money to help each other out, things like that. About a good chunk of people, too. There's about 14 kin involved and 20 or 30 some regular folk, all doing shit for the environment, cleaning up parks, things like that, making the place better because the city refuses to do shit. Alright? So, one, looks bad on the city, right?
Sure, yeah.
Now, that was the first strike. Second strike is some of the old Pueblo kin, Ken and Kin, reached out to me. So there's this gal, Hannah Young, and she's been with the homeless folk here since Pueblo went down, and she's been moving around, and so she got them to agree to do a family, use their family network to show how to feed the homeless. So everyone started making home-cooked meals. Well, whatever the case was, apparently the city refused to give them a permit. They were going to do it anyway because they have their own homegrown gardens in the back. So they grew their own food. They made these meals. The cops tried to shut them down, and before the homeless people could even get a bite, the police poured bleach on the food.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. Arrest a few people, let them go on, Trump charges. But, this has caused friction with Chief Mitchell. So he's been starting to go after them, and he's been hitting them with their gardens are violations of city ordinances and things like that. And he's been particularly savage with Tina, though he's also been going after Tim pretty hard too with his partner. Either way, they've been trying to do that, so we're trying to give them backup and we're trying to keep them safe. If we can get that network back on their feet and try and get the cops to at least back the fuck off, I think we can help this network out and really give our kin something to strive for. And, these community networks and the fact that they're growing most of their own food means that they're 40 people are taking a ton of their carbon footprint out of circulation, at least on the production side of things and the transport side of things.
Okay. So what are your thoughts so far?
Well, we can't do the normal down and dirty as much as
No.
I'm disappointed. I was thinking that we could try and get some information on him. You know, just get some contacts going. I know you got it good with some of the cops. Try and get some info. Do that. Maybe, you know, leak it to the press, create a scandal. That'll give us some breathing room, and it'll give more public opinion on the side of this. It'll also spread the idea of these kind of networks to the public at large.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, the cops pouring bleach on the food for the homeless after denying the permit. I mean, that sounds like something that the press would eat up. And from there, I mean, they'd look into the organization too on their own, probably.
Yeah. So I was thinking getting that, seeing who made the order, because that's important, right? If it was just if they can try and pin it on just a couple quote unquote bad cops, then you know public won't give a shit. But if it came from the top,
yeah, okay, I can at least put in a call,
all right,
see
thanks,
if I can
man.
get something.
Beyond that, you know, maybe do some searching, you know, check things out. Make cars, you know, just short out a little bit when they're trying to answer calls to going after the network, things like that. I think, you know, proper use of gifts to just inconvenience them. No claws. Regender made me promise twice. Maybe 3 times.
Oh God, a bear!
I don't have any gifts for this, and the only tech spirit I really know is in Denver.
What about your packmates? Could you get them involved?
Maybe during the day. Have something for tonight.
Oh, okay. Going off with Howling King?
Yeah.
He's in a worse mood than normal, so I don't blame him.
Well, I mean, leeches, right?
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like that helps the two of us just as much, right? I mean, they frequently target the homeless anyway.
It's true. That is true. All right, let's come up with a plan tomorrow then. Well, I'll get you introduced to the kin tomorrow. We'll set up a couple meetings. They're kenning. They actually, Tina saw me when I was an itty bitty cup for my first change.
Okay.
Yeah, helped teach me English.
Nice. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, hell, I'll talk to everyone and see if anyone else has any ideas too, and I'll find a phone and talk to some of the cops I know. Try and find something out.
All right, cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah, of course, dude.
You know, bro hug.
Of course.
So Kyle returns to the rest of the group.
Any news?
Well, the cops have been kind of shutting down this homegrown support network. So, like, just a quick example, because I'll just give you guys the overview, because I know you're all busy tonight. They poured bleach on all of the food that the network was going to give out to the homeless.
Oh, what the fuck?
And
Why would they do that?
yeah, well, so they didn't have a permit to give it out. The city denied them.
You need a permit to hand food out? What bloody hell's that about?
Yeah, you do. The city's gotten a lot more anti-homeless in the last year or two. But at the very least, Steven was wondering if you guys had any ideas. The two that we've got kind of right now are get information on who's giving these orders to do this and putting pressure on the people to deny these permits, and then to get this to the media. Do you guys have anything else? Or, you know, any ways we could help do that?
The only thing I can think of is that money talks. Just start lobbying for it, and it should come through.
I know someone at the Gazette.
Oh, that's right. It's been a while.
It's been a while, but it's always worth a try.
Yeah, that would help a lot. And I mean, I like the idea of lobbying, but I don't have.
Money.
Yeah.
We are.
I understand we, but as a, collective, and I kind of look around the whole sept, it might work.
We live outside.
But what about our kin? Or sorry, not our, but your kin or the kin here.
I mean, most of the people that Steven and I associate with are, well, homeless.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure that we could drum up some money, but I don't think we're going to get lobbying money.
Then protest. It's another form of speech.
Yeah, but to do that, first, the media.
Protest would get the media involved, and the media would light on it.
I guess that's true, but I guess it's just like one of those chicken or the egg things, you know?
Hit it from both sides. The homeless are trying to fight for, living off the land like they are. At the same time, hitting it from the government not allowing them to do so. They want the homeless out of their streets, then, give them the ability to do so.
No,
It's a two-prong attack that, they have to deal with one or the other, because then they would have to split resources for both, and they might not have the time like our group would. They've got nothing else to do. No offense given, but they don't have a job, so they don't have much to do besides take care of their own. And in doing so, they're fighting for the right to do what they need to do, to live, to survive.
Yeah, I'll talk to Steven, see if he can talk to some of the people that are running this thing. And, well, who knows? If they end up talking to the press, they can also say that they're going to hold a protest about this. So that way it does drum up support for it, and they're more likely to cover the protest then.
Yep, and the protest would get placed on the news media as like live coverage, and so it gets to more people faster.
Yeah.
And we will see how that plan and the leech hunting goes next time. Thank you to everyone who listened. Next week is an off week for us, but we will catch you all in that next episode. Bye.
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 Bye.